breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 6, we're on top of 3 breaking news stories developing right now. A shooting in Durham sent a person to the hospital. A car crash brought down some power lines, knocked out power for hundreds of people. Plus, crews in Raleigh respond to an early morning house fire.
And yesterday was definitely hot across the area. Today is going to be even worse with excessive heat warnings out across the area. We're going to talk about just how long this warm-up lasts coming up.
Plus, a 4th of July celebration did not pan out the way many had hoped in Raleigh after a rain delay causes mass confusion. What city officials say caused a short and belated fireworks show. A lot of people frustrated with what they say a lack of communication from organizers in the city. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Great to have you with us on this day after Independence Day, and we've got a long holiday weekend. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for spending the early part of it with us here. We get the Friday after the holiday, and we're headed right towards the weekend. But the heat, it is nearly off the charts. Anthony Baglione in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with the alerts.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see kind of this stretch that we're back in. We got a little bit of a break from it here Monday, Tuesday, and then now we are firmly locked into some big time heat. Where we sit this morning, this is kind of a new update for you. We did have a heat advisory that came out yesterday, and then they added on an excessive heat warning early this morning. All of that right there includes the city of Raleigh. Durham feels like values up to 110 throughout the majority of our day. Heat advisories 105 to 109. You see, it's still very comparable to where that excessive heat warning is at. Just make sure, please take that heat very seriously if you're out there today. It's going to be a kind of a focus for us the next couple of days. We're close to 80 right now, very similar to actually what we saw yesterday morning across Raleigh and Durham, 70 in Roxborough. We're at 75 currently in Clinton. But you walk outside, it has that feel to it where it's just sticky. It feels a little bit uncomfortable, and that is what's going to be kind of driving up our feels like values today. 108 at 4 o'clock, even into this evening. No major break from that. Sometimes when the sun goes down, we start to feel a little bit better. It is still going to be at 96 there by the time we get close to 10 o'clock. We do have some rain chances, though, to talk about. Something that may help cool us down just a little bit. We'll talk about when they arrive here, Brett, in just a few.
All right, Anthony, let's take a look at traffic. 6:01 here on a Friday morning, and we do have this one crash downtown, Lenore Street at Fayetteville Street. We're going to learn some more information on that one, but the wider look around the rest of the triangle, we're looking pretty good. Green across the board on 440 and 540. If you're coming in from 87 in Wendell, we're also looking good. Zoom back in on that downtown crash. No delays on the sensors, which is good news. US 1 at Walnut Street, that's our live look here. And so far, US 1 looking pretty good in both directions. Not a lot of cars out there for a Friday morning, but we'll continue to watch it.
We're following breaking news this morning. A person is hurt after an early morning shooting. It happened around 1 a.m. in a neighborhood on Glenbrook Drive in Durham. Nick Perlin joins us from that scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. A lot has happened, Nick, in the overnight hours. Those evidence markers, boy, they were out there by the dozens.
And Jeff, I found even more actually just 20 minutes ago. Part of that crime scene cleared, but now I'm here at the second part of this crime scene. You can see the tape behind me. I'm going to get behind the camera and I'm going to show you that there's even more orange cones here scattered across the ground. This is on Glenbrook and Hinson. I counted about 30 of these evidence markers, and now I want to show you the first part of this crime scene. This is video I captured earlier on, and this is a little bit further down on Glenbrook, and I counted up to 65 of these evidence markers. So if you count that crime scene and this part of the crime scene that I'm at, that's around 100 evidence markers that were left behind due to this shooting. We know one person is in the hospital. I'm still working to get an update on that person's condition, and we're also trying to figure out who fired their gun this morning. Obviously, just a very jarring crime scene early this morning. We're going to keep working to get more information. Reporting live in Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Also breaking news we're following. Almost 2,000 people in Durham are without power after a crash took down power lines. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. The crash happened at Washington and Macon Streets about 2:30 this morning. You see the power lines landed on top of that car. Dangerous situation. Duke Energy's outage map shows the power may not be restored there until 2 this afternoon. There's no word on what caused the crash or if anyone was hurt, but WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is on her way to that scene right now.
And just before that scene in Durham, the WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on the scene of this house fire in Raleigh. Flames broke out in the home on Wesley Court near Lewisburg Road in US 1 just after 1:30 this morning. Raleigh police and fire crews responded. We're working to learn if anyone was hurt.
Good morning, I'm Chris Lovingood in the WRAL Live Center. Still trying to make sense about that confusion regarding the fireworks display that was at Dix Park yesterday. So this was the tweet that went out by the Dix Park Conservancy inviting people to text a number to sign up for event alerts. The problem is we never saw any alerts about what happened yesterday in regard to the reduced time for this show. Let's show you some video here that we captured people walking out of the show because there was some rain that pushed through Dix Park and then people weren't certain exactly if it was still going on. It did happen, but only for about 10 minutes, according to people we spoke with. I want to bring you out just some comments that we had seen from the city. A spokesperson saying that the city's 4th of July fireworks show was not the grand display that we planned. We initially had a rain delay and threat of lightning, and then technical difficulties shortened the show. The fireworks for this year have concluded. It will not be rescheduled. I'll leave you with just one thing here. Just somebody's comment on social media saying that this was the worst fireworks show they had been to. You guys should advertise next year to tell people not to go. So a lot of people furious about this. It was a free event, but an event people were looking forward to that didn't even happen that long.
Chris, thanks. This morning, Hurricane Beryl is now a Category 2 storm. It is headed for what could be a direct hit on Mexico's Caribbean coast resort of Tulum. Landfall is expected sometime this morning. Authorities there are urging tourists to get to higher ground. The hurricane is already blamed for 9 deaths in Venezuela, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. After Beryl hit the Yucatan Peninsula this morning, it could hit southern Texas or northern Mexico. The storm also could make it dangerous for vacationers in states along the Gulf of Mexico.
A man is in the hospital with serious injuries this morning after a shooting in Raleigh. Police responded to Body Island Lane around lunchtime yesterday. That's where officers found a man with gunshot wounds. They also made an arrest in the case. Investigators are still looking into what led up to that shooting, but the name of the man who was shot and the person they arrested have not been released.
It's going to be a busy weekend on North Carolina lakes. There will be an increased law enforcement presence on the water over the holiday weekend as part of Operation Dry Water. It's a national campaign to encourage boater safety. Last year, the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission made 40 arrests for boating under the influence and issued more than 1,000 tickets.
The main thing we're doing is just making sure everybody's safe, whether that's wearing a life jacket, making sure people aren't drinking and driving, and then just, making sure everybody gets home safely.
Making sure boaters must have enough life jackets for everyone on board, and kids under 13 must wear the life jackets while they're boating. So far this year, 37 boating incidents have happened in North Carolina. 7 were fatal.
There was some rain at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park as well, but it didn't stop the fireworks show there. Yeah, thousands of folks showed up there. They came together to witness the holiday spectacle that is 4th of July, the Durham Bulls baseball game. A patriotic night at the ballpark is what a lot of folks wanted amid what is a tense political climate and election year. Spectators say it was a welcome break.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the country right now, but people coming together, putting all the politics aside, having fun here, eating hot dogs, fireworks. It's a beautiful thing.
Now, the only problem was the Bulls did not pull out the win. It's kind of a dud against the Norfolk Tides. Didn't stop the celebration overall, though.
Breaking news, about 1,800 people in Durham are without power after a crash took down power lines. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey just got to the scene. And Kelsey, the car that crashed has been removed, but it's going to take a while for crews to fix this.
Renee, Duke Energy says that they're not expecting to restore power until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So you can still see some crews here behind me that are working. We're trying to figure out where exactly that crash happened. Since we just arrived, we can see that it looks like there's something going on with that power line there that we're going to zoom in on. But let's take you to video now from the WRAL breaking news tracker that we captured after that crash first happened. We know that one car was involved in the crash and it hit those power lines. And this is really concerning for folks to be without power until 2 o'clock, as we're experiencing excessive heat today with a high of 102 degrees. So a really tough day to be without AC. We've reached out to Duke Energy for updates, so we'll be sure to stay on top of that. And we're also working to find out what led up to this crash and whether anyone was hurt. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Coming up, a big Democratic Party supporter is no longer donating as long as Biden stays in the race. That's what she says. The trouble President Biden faces now that Abigail Disney says she'll no longer support the party.
And a lot is happening this weekend in the Triangle, including a festival and a chance to see even more fireworks. We have your out and about best bets.
And if you're headed out early this morning, radar is quiet. You will have no weather-related problems, but we're tracking that big-time heat through today and a couple storm chances into the weekend. We're going to go over all of that, and especially hour by hour on Futurecast coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Welcome back at 6:12 here on this Friday morning, where the heat is going to be continuing to be our big story as we head into the weekend. I think on Sunday, though, it should start to feel a little bit better. It comes with more rain chances, though, that we really need, which we'll talk about here shortly. Excessive heat warning outline, though. You see all of kind of that purple magenta color contour right there. Feels like up to 110 today, including Raleigh, including Durham, South Hill, for instance. All of the orange showing up would be just a step below that, but it's still not going to be a big difference for us. We're still feeling over 100. There's a look hour by hour for you as we get to lunchtime. Even at lunchtime, 102, we climb here to about 108 at 4 o'clock. If you need to walk the pets, if you need to just get a walk in yourself, if you can do that late this evening, you may have a little bit of progress with this heat.
All right, Anthony, let's take a look at traffic right now. We do have just that one crash out there, and the rest of the triangle is looking really good here on a Friday morning. If you got to go back into work, shouldn't have any delays out there on the roads, especially over in 40 and the Durham Freeway, 540, and the Beltline also looking good. We'll zoom in on that downtown crash. It's at Lenore Street and Fayetteville Street. No delays on the sensors. Just going to continue to keep an eye on it here the rest of the morning until it is for sure cleared. I-540 at US 70, that is our live look there with the sun peeking over the horizon right now, and a plane either coming or going from RDU, but so far so good out there on the roads this morning.
Brett, thanks. Film crews will begin setting up to shoot the popular TV series Summer I Turned Pretty on UNC Chapel Hill's campus today. The director of the Chapel Hill Orange County Visitors Bureau confirmed this during a June town council meeting. The crew will film Monday through Wednesday, which may affect traffic. UNC says filming will largely take place outside on McCorkle Place and surrounding buildings. If you'll be around the area during that time, expect delays, road and parking closures. Coming up in What's Trending, what we know about the upcoming season that crews are filming.
Wake County Deputy Ned Bird and Raleigh Police Officer Gabe Torres were honored on Independence Day. Both were killed in the line of duty in 2022. The group Beyond the Call of Duty set up this rolling memorial outside the sheriff's office. The group is on a 73-day journey to honor fallen officers nationwide. They've traveled more than 23,000 miles, making hundreds of stops across the country. Raleigh Police Chief Estella Patterson and Wake County Sheriff Willie Rowe spoke at the event.
Two amazing men who served this community well, who gave everything so that we can be free today.
We're just grateful for this opportunity to gather here on Independence Day to celebrate the greatness of this nation, the greatness of the men and women who serve and protect and who give it their all.
And that rolling memorial is already gone, headed off to Greensboro later yesterday.
A prominent donor to the Democratic Party is withholding donations until President Biden drops out of the presidential race. Abigail Disney, the granddaughter of Disney's co-founder, says she will no longer donate. In a statement to CNBC, Disney said, in part, if Biden does not step down, the Democrats will lose. Of that, I'm absolutely certain. The president has said he has no plans to withdraw from the race. Meanwhile, anonymous sources tell CNBC past donors of Kamala Harris's campaign are privately discussing what her candidacy would look like if Biden stepped aside.
If you can handle the heat, there are a lot of fun activities all around the Triangle this weekend.
Let's take a look at this weekend's best bets. First up, the 45th annual Festival for the Eno is underway in Durham. This is video from a previous year. The event is happening at West Point Park. It raises awareness about protecting and restoring outdoor spaces. It It will feature live music and lots of fun activities for the family. EnoFest runs today and tomorrow from 10 until 6. Tickets are on sale now.
And you can enjoy a second day for the USA. The Holly Springs Independence Day celebration today is full of fun activities, live music, food trucks, games, spectacular fireworks on the way. The fireworks are scheduled to begin tonight, 9:15 p.m. Admission is free. It's open to everyone.
The North Carolina Symphony will revisit the sounds of the 1970s tomorrow night. They will perform music by James Taylor, Fleetwood Mac, Joni Mitchell, and more at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now. For more about these and other events this holiday weekend, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About. Wherever you go out and about, you'll be feeling the excessive heat around the Triangle and beyond. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione with a live look at Carolina Beach, a popular place to be this holiday weekend.
Yeah, I want to start us off here with some morning relaxation on this Friday where we're starting to see the sun coming up there in the distance. I will say, though, again today we are going to be having some rip current threats out there. So it's not going to be a good day to go in the water. But if you can look at that beautiful shot from the shore, maybe go for a walk, pick up the seashells, something like that, rather than going in, that's going to be a good day for it. Here's a look at those rip currents just about our entire coast, looking at red flags flying. It gets a little bit better south of Wilmington right there, but just as always, make sure to check those flags as you're going out. If it's red, it's just not worth going in and facing the potential of those rip currents. We currently sit back here at home in the 70s, 78 in Raleigh. We're at 75 in Clinton, 75 currently in Goldsboro. So it's manageable. It's definitely muggy out there across the area. We're in for some big time heat, though. We, of course, had it yesterday. We're used to it this time of the year, but today is going to be almost a step above what we're used to. 108 is what it should feel like by about 3 o'clock, even into this evening, close to 100 at 8 o'clock. So if you're out and about, just keep that heat in mind. Excessive heat warnings are out across the Triangle. What that's saying is feels like values up to 110, everywhere else 105 to 109. We don't usually see excessive heat warnings come out very often, and so that's kind of a new change they've added as far as increasing that threat for us this morning. Let's talk about as far as rain chances are concerned. Anything to cool us off, right? We need some rain. Here's Futurecast. There's not much of it the next couple of hours. We're looking at a pretty dry day in and of itself. There's lunchtime, just partly cloudy skies. Where we start to see at least a chance of a few pop-up storms comes into this evening. There's 7 o'clock. You can see some of those trying to get going. It's not going to be a lot of coverage, and most of this will try and fizzle out by the time it gets here. There may be a little bit more back toward Greensboro, but we'll watch for that as it gets closer. I think tomorrow afternoon and evening, and then Sunday afternoon and evening, that would be a better chance of getting some scattered storms. A 60% chance for us both days. Feeling a little bit better also on Sunday, 89 as opposed to the 102 degree, just hard to believe reading that we're looking at today. In the tropics, we have Hurricane Beryl, of course, getting ready to make landfall along the Yucatan Peninsula. 110-mile-per-hour winds. The current track does take this across the Yucatan as a tropical storm once it gets back into the Gulf of Mexico, and then as a hurricane getting close to Brownsville, Texas. The models are still kind of trying to lock in on that here as we get into the Texas area. 97 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday. We see scattered shower and storm chances continuing through next week. That heat, though, Brett, sticks with us through the week.
Thanks, Anthony. Let's take a look at traffic now. 619 here on your Friday morning, and we are delay-free across the board, which is really good news. All of our major routes coming into Raleigh this morning on a Friday morning. If you have to go back to work, we're looking pretty good. Over in Durham, same story. All green across the board, including the Durham Freeway in both directions. Not seeing any delays right now. US 1 at Tryon Road right now there as the sunrise starts to come up over the trees there, and we are looking good in both directions on US 1 right now.
Thanks, Brett. Coming up in What's Trending, David and Victoria Beckham are reliving their unique wedding on their 25th anniversary. I'll tell you how they're remembering their special day that included some questionable style choices.
Whole lot of purple there. And we have a look at the preparations in Arlington, Texas for Major League Baseball's All-Star Week.
Ahead on today, summer health tips. Cities all across the country experience record high temperatures. NBC News medical contributor will break down what we need to know to have a happy and healthy summer.
First, here's a look at your winning North Carolina education lottery numbers. What's trending is next.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Today, What's Trending, David and Victoria Beckham are celebrating 25 years, their anniversary, in a very unique way.
Yeah, they're recreating their very purple reception outfits. Oh, you have to see this. The couple posted the photos on Instagram. The two got hitched back in 1999 wearing these purple outfits. Since then, both have talked about the unusual fashion choice in separate interviews. Fans commented on the post saying only the Beckhams could get away with wearing purple on their wedding day.
Could they really, though, get away with it? I don't know.
They
David
did.
David has some regrets. He said he even had a top hat that was purple that went with that outfit. He said he felt like something out of Dumb and Dumber.
Well, they look like royalty. They're even, sitting in the thrones there.
Looks good on, on them.
Kind of looked like your wedding photo.
Yeah, right. A popular TV series will have a backdrop right here in the Triangle. Film crews will begin filming part of the Summer I Turned Pretty at UNC next week. The main characters in the Amazon Prime series are now about to enter college, which would explain why they're taking the chance to film at UNC.
Yeah, the series is based on a popular book series, and I had heard about it for a while. It had been out seasons 1 and 2, and I finally burned through it a couple months ago. I really enjoyed it. It's a story about first love and, just the whole angst of love and heartbreak.
Renee will be loitering in Chapel Hill looking for an extra spot on the film.
They need an extra reporter or somebody there. I'm there. Yeah.
You can do anything. One of the most eye-catching parts of Major League Baseball's All-Star Week is taking shape in Arlington, Texas. This huge Ferris wheel is now in place. Crews are hustling to build the Capital One All-Star Village. Nearly 650,000 baseball fans are expected for that All-Star Week. It starts July 12th. The 5-day event wraps up with the big game Tuesday, July 16th.
All right, as we get a check of weather here over the next couple of hours, it is going to be hot for us. If you need to walk the pets, if you can do that this morning or late this evening, because temperatures 102 this afternoon. We're going to talk about, though, if we have any break from this heat on the way coming up.
Roughly 100 evidence markers were left behind at this crime scene behind me in Durham that left one person in the hospital. Coming up, I'm going to show you this large crime scene.
And hundreds are without power after a car crashes into power lines in Durham. Here's a live look at the trucks out there right now, when the power is expected to be restored as the crews do their work.